Can you imagine if the devil plays this card, Islam would collapse overnight?
Oh, children of Abraham, do not be afraid.
When the economy collapses and the devil plays this card, billions of people will follow.
So what do you think the solution is to the jobs that are going to be lost because of AI and robotics? Do you think it's going to be some sort of a universal basic income thing?
All the world powers are moving in one direction. They're moving towards one narrative because when this card gets played, it has the power to rewrite history.
You believe that we have encountered alien beings and that they've come to Earth and that we know about it as a U.S. government?
That seems to be the case. I don't like to characterize necessarily where they came from. They're definitely some kind of non-human sentience, but it is true.
Hi everyone, my name is Oscar and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, this is a Christian YouTube channel where we discuss everything from a Christian perspective. Now, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because I believe that the devil has three powerful cards in his hands. And I will call these his trump cards. And I believe that one of them is physical, one of them is spiritual, and one of them is a wild card. So back in the 90s, a card game came out called New World Order, or NWO. And I used that as an inspiration to design these three cards. So the three cards that we're going to discuss today are titled Universal Basic Income, Queen of Heaven, and False Revelation. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss this topic is because I believe he may actually play these cards in the future. And if he does, a lot of people will be deceived. So I don't want you to be deceived. So if he does do these things, I want you to be aware of what's happening. So the way I want to approach this video is by discussing each card one by one. We're going to look at their backstory as well as a hypothetical situation for you to consider. Before we get started, we have to establish the fundamentals, because if we don't, people go down these rabbit holes and conspiracy theories. The Bible is very clear about how the world will end. And I want you to keep this in mind as we're discussing each one of these cards, because it doesn't speak about global warming, nuclear war, or the rise of some other religious power like Islam that's going to take over the world. It's very clear that a power from within the church will rule the world. And it has already risen to power. The people that came before us, the reformers, they recognized this Antichrist power. And it was the first time in history that this Antichrist power was identified. The Bible prophesied that it would rule for over 1,200 years, and that it would suffer a wound which would cause it to weaken for a period of time. And in the final days, which we're in right now, it would slowly return to power. And that power that God prophesied is called the Papal Roman Empire. And if this is news to you, if this is the first time you're hearing about this, I would encourage you to go watch my final Bible prophecy series. I'm going to leave a link to it right here. Because for over an hour, I took everyone through the books of Daniel and Revelation in the most simplistic way possible so that anyone can understand the Bible prophecies. And God says in Daniel 8:25 that this Antichrist power shall stand up against the Prince of Princes, but he shall be broken without hand, meaning that he will be destroyed when Jesus returns. And this is also confirmed in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. This all occurs at Jesus' second coming, which means that this Antichrist power will endure. So this means that the devil is very invested in the success of this power, because the Bible tells us that he gave this power his seat and his great authority. So he's not going to abandon something that he spent over 1,000 years creating. So now that we established that fundamental, we can keep those things in mind. Let's get started.
Card number 1. Universal Basic Income. This is the most powerful physical card. Once played, all opponents must choose accept or reject. If accepted, opponent receives the mark of the beast and $1,000 every turn forever, until money printer catches fire. Opponent gains 666 status alignment. This card instantly grants the perk of complete cooperation, resulting in total allegiance within the beast system.
So the first card is the most powerful physical card that's in the devil's hand, and it's called Universal Basic Income. And I don't think a lot of people understand the power and weight that's behind this card. It's unprecedented. And the thing about it is that the elites of the world, they keep talking about this. Let's take a quick look at what Elon said. So to give you some quick context, Joe Rogan just asked Elon Musk regarding AI and his thoughts about universal basic income. Is this the answer, especially if so many people are going to be out of jobs? Let's hear what he says.
Working will be optional because you'll have robots plus AI, and we'll have, in a benign scenario, universal high income, not just universal basic income, universal high income, meaning anyone can have any products or services that they want.
So
But there will be a lot of trauma and disruption along the way.
So they've been talking about UBI for many years now, and many of the elites keep regurgitating these points that the job market is going to collapse, that AI is going to take over, many people are going to be out of work, and the only way to fix this is with some type of UBI program. And it shows me that this is a powerful thing that the devil is keeping close to his chest. Because when he plays this card, it will shake the world. And the reason I say that is because when the mark of the beast comes along, it will be a powerful incentive that's going to be used to incentivize people to get the mark. And if you look at what happened during the pandemic, you can see all the different ways that people were incentivized to get the jib jab. Now, I saw stories about prisoners getting their sentences reduced, people giving out free rounds at shooting ranges, donuts being offered. Even one country was giving away a cow to their residents. And here there was a study done regarding these vaccine incentives. It says the research that has been done suggests that guaranteed immediate payments are more effective than gimmicks and lotteries. Now it goes on to quote a trial that was done in Sweden. A randomized trial in Sweden in 2021 showed that a cash payment of about $24 to those receiving their first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine was enough to drive up vaccination rates by 4.2 percentage points. $24, and it went up 4 points. Can you imagine the power that UBI is going to have? Hey everyone, really quick interruption. I lead the 10th charity and ministry, and videos like this are made possible by partners like you. At the 10th, we're dedicated to spreading the gospel and helping people to be spiritually prepared to avoid the mark of the beast. If you'd like to support my personal ministry or the charity, you can visit my Patreon at jusoscar.com or at 10thcharity.org/donate. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to support this channel. I want to take you through a hypothetical situation. I want you to imagine that in a few years, the world economy collapses completely. The Great Reset. Banks close. Currencies freeze. Supply chains stall everywhere. World leaders call an emergency meeting. Everyone watches on edge. You turn on your TV and you hear the news say this.
Breaking news. The Pope issues a global appeal, calling on nations to remember God's sheep in a time of collapse. In a show of good faith, the Vatican has released its wealth to support a universal relief program. Beginning this week, every household globally will receive $1,000 per week. To distribute the funds, governments have approved a unified digital account system, accessible only through a new biometric insertion. The insertion will serve as a permanent digital identity, housing all IDs, visas, medical records, currencies, and universal income access. Health and finance officials describe the insertion as safe and secure. No registration, no participation. Enrollment begins immediately.
See, the thing about UBI and why it's so powerful is that there aren't a lot of people in the world that can turn down $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. You show me that person, you have to have an amazing amount of faith, especially when the whole world is against you, when they close down your account, when they say digital currency is the only way, when you can no longer travel, you can no longer buy or sell unless you're part of this system. And then they're going to incentivize you to join this system, $1,000 a week for life. That's a very hard thing for most people to turn down. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine recently, and he said he never thought about it that way before. It's going to be a very hard decision at that point in time, because what you're going to have to do is you have to put your full faith and trust in the Lord. And a lot of people are not going to do it. A lot of people are going to take the easy route. They're going to go off a fare. They're not going to put their trust in God. They're going to put the trust in the God of this world, the devil, and then they're going to sign up for this system. And I believe that UBI is going to be the trump card that's going to incentivize people to sign up. I want to show you a quick clip from a Christian filmmaker where he shows this exact same scenario where they're having this conversation regarding the insertion. So this clip is from a Christian series titled The Last Evangelist. It's made by David Hebner, and he's actually the gentleman that's acting in this scene right here. What I want you to do is pay special attention to the insertion language, because this is the mark of the beast, and the incentives that they use in order for people to get the insertion.
Good morning, Sergeant.
No, you've always been a terrible liar.
I think you had a reaction to your second vaccine, John.
Here, let's get this IV out.
What is that?
This is the TI-714.
Gives the insertion.
The insertion.
Come on, John. You've been out 2 days, but you don't have amnesia. We finally approved it. Everyone's taken it.
Just relax your arm. You won't feel a thing.
Marge, I need you in room 202. We have a code blue.
I'll be right back to finish this up.
Code blue, room 202. Did you take the insertion?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm guaranteed compensation for life, perfect health, and I can be with you. That is, after you take it, of course.
And everyone's taken it?
Well, not everybody. I mean, the conspiracy theorists refuse. The result's been horrific, John. No one will hire them. They can't buy food, clothing, medicine, nothing.
So as you notice, once you get the insertion, you're guaranteed income for life. And this is a major perk that a lot of people are not going to be able to turn down. And those that do, they label as conspiracy theorists, and no one is able to hire them. With that being said, let's move on to card number 2. So this concludes part 1, but follow the link to watch part 2 where we discuss the devil's most powerful spiritual card, the Queen of Heaven. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel. My name is Oscar, and I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.